I'm about to try out the HTC Vive with Valve's The Lab and also ILM's trials on Tatooine. Right, so I've been playing around with Vive and the new game called The Lab, which is basically Aperture Science contributions to VR. You could say it's a few different sort of experiences that will be delivered free on Steam. Obviously, yes, playable with Steam VR. It's what I tried was a bit of a mountain retreat with a dog. You could play fetch with a dog. There was a slingshot, sort of a warehouse scenario where you were shooting different kind of cores and trying to create these cascade effects, sort of like first-person Angry Birds, if you will. And there was a pretty cool scenario where you were shooting with bow and arrow inside sort of like a miniature table. Very cool thing. And there was an old-school arcade game called Sortex where you were pointing a gun and shooting at different things, and it sort of became a bullet hell arcade experience where you were trying to dodge bullets and shoot the enemies. Also very cool, sort of high score based kind of thing. More of a game rather than an experience, if you will. And to top it off was something that I really enjoyed, a Star Wars experience called Trials on Tatooine, where basically what happens is you go down to Tatooine, you're there, and Han Solo lands with the Millennium Falcon, and you get to help him repair it a little bit. You meet up with R2, and then you're deflecting blast shots from stormtroopers with a lightsaber. So pretty sort of short Star Wars experience, but very cool one at that. So yeah, that's what we've been trying back here, and it's not too long now until Vive comes out, and I gotta say I was impressed with what we got to try today. Yeah, and speaking of the hardware, we tried what is probably the final hardware. Certainly looked a part of it with the Steam VR controllers and the headset itself. Very solid, very sort of easy to put on, easy to take off, adjusted to what you'd expect from a consumer product. Also, what I could say is in some of the demos, what was used for navigation, rather than always walking around, if you want to go a little bit further, was the sort of a teleportation that you use one of the haptic pads to sort of point out and drop yourself off at that point, which I guess it's a way to sort of, it doesn't make you as disoriented as sort of walking without walking, if you will. So it's sort of a way to solve that issue. Not sure it works in every sort of experience, but in these kind of experiences, it did work where they had that. So what else can I say? Well, you know, it felt good. It feels like the experience has gotten way more solid. Of course, we're not far from the actual release of it, so it would be very, very scary if it wasn't there. But it certainly feels solid, and yeah.